I'm Jenni Carlson here with Gina and Mizell. We're in the desert where Oklahoma State takes on Stanford in the Fiesta Bowl here in a few days. And Gina, we got to talk to Stanford defense, Oklahoma State offense today. It's an interesting matchup. Let's talk first about up front. How do you see this matchup of the lines shaking out in this game?
I think it's going to be a fun matchup in the trenches. Stanford ranks 5th in the nation in rushing defense, which is kind of a surprising stat. Everyone talks about the two offenses in this game, but we were talking to a couple of the Stanford players, and they were saying that this is the best offensive line that they're going to face. And obviously they face a good one every day in practice with David DeCastro and Martin up there for Stanford. So it's not like they've never seen a physical line, but that's where it's going to all start. If they can get pressure on Brandon Weeden, if they can, make him throw the ball more quickly than he wants to, or can sack him a couple of times, then I think that could, potentially slow down this OSU offense. But their offensive line has done a great job of protecting him and opening up holes for these running backs. So that'll be a fun matchup, I think, in there.
What about on the other side of things, the Cowboy receivers against that Cardinal secondary? I mean, I don't know if they've seen anybody like Justin Blackmon. How are they going to try to match up against him?
Well, they've seen Robert Woods from USC, so he's obviously a great player. But Justin Blackmon, obviously the two-time Biletnikoff winner, is the best receiver in the country. And they said they're going to mix up the coverages because they said that if Brandon Weeden has either too much time to throw or sees the same look over and over again, then he's going to be able to pick a side or pick the guy that's single coverage and all that kind of stuff and be able to kind of pick you apart. So they said they're going to try to mix up all those coverages. They're basically running an NFL style of their pass coverages. So if Blackman's single covered, I'm sure Brandon Weeden will find him. But it's going to be a matter of, does he have the time to throw the ball? So that's going to be, again, an interesting matchup in this game, and so that'll be fun to see what happens.
Obviously, Oklahoma State, its own beast. I think I heard a guy describe OSU that way today. Its own beast, but Stanford has played some pretty high-powered offenses in the Pac-12. They are different, but those offenses scored some points. How does that sort of bode for Oklahoma State?
Well, I think the Oregon game is the one you can pretty much look at as far as the tempo. It's a different type of spread offense. Darren Thomas can run the football. Brandon Weeden can't. Exactly, he's not going to take off and run, and so that's different. But just that up tempo, quick style is completely different from what Stanford runs, and is a little bit different compared to what some other teams in the Pac-12 do. USC is more of a pro style offense with Matt Barkley, but they obviously put up some points as well, and that was one of those great triple overtime thrillers of the regular season. So the high-powered offenses have fared well against the Stanford defense. So again, there's been a month to prepare for this game, and I'm sure that the Stanford defense has a couple of wrinkles in there that we probably haven't seen, but I'm sure the OSU offense has some wrinkles that we maybe haven't seen yet this season. So I still think this game's going to be pretty high scoring, but maybe one of these defenses will come out and surprise some people and be able to shut one of these teams down.
All right, we'll see you on Monday night. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.